My friends, sisters, and brothers, I am Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate for basic human rights for all people. That's my job. That's my title. Now, I was given that title by no one. I claim that title myself based upon what is important to me. Basic human rights. We as human beings on this earth got rights. What I mean by rights is that you'll understand in a moment. Now, when I come before you to speak to you, I speak to you because I know what I'm talking about, at least in my pay grade. I don't know everything, but up to the point that I do carry this message, that part I do know. I have been taught in life and through the Spirit. What do I say to you? I say to you today that we as human beings all over the earth are living according to a deception. We have been deceived. Most of the issues that we have in life, both most of, or should I say, many of the avenues that are open for us to do the things of life are legit. It has a problem through exploitation, but it doesn't stop there. It goes all the way. You see, from the beginning, the deception was before any of our times that's living on earth. But for those who were in the midst of it, partners with evil, meaning that it was not just one person, it was a group of people, and a group of people across nations that came together, concoct this deception, and impose it on the people of the world while it protects them as the masters of humanity. And it's been handed down throughout human existence. And some of the pain and suffering have been brought to the attention of the populace, and they have addressed some of the concerns, but no concern has been addressed that would deal with the truth, that would deal with the deception to the extent that it would change society as we know it, not just in one country, but all over the earth. For me, ladies and gentlemen, I remember how the world works. As a social scientist, I definitely remember. I grew up, and in the 60s, I believed that Columbus discovered America. In the 60s, I believed that African people walked around with bones in their nose and in their ears and tied up in their hair. Anything that they had shown me on Tarzan or anything they had told me through the medium that we were allowed to be exposed to gave me this kind of fear that I'd never want to even be around Africa. They had me believing that when the soldiers, the Union soldiers back in the movies of the West, when the West was won, they're talking about the times when white folks was stealing the Indians' land and taking the Indians' land and murdering the Indians. I, in the 60s, believed that these guys were doing that for me, for people like me, that we would have some place to stay. My message is how deceived we can be. That's my deception, and that's just part of it. And I know we all have been deceived. I know we all deceived because I know the truth about it. I know that once we have our eyes open, and it takes a miracle for that to happen, we then have a responsibility to life itself to represent that power. brought us to an understanding beyond all understandings. It is the most important thing. All the stuff of life is good, but it was designed to be a part of heavenliness. It was not designed to be a part of hell. And today it is a part of hell when we have those that have and we got those that have not. And in order for this to be maintained, there's an existence of lying and cheating and stealing. There's an existence of racism and hatred and bigotry. All of these things occur. But for me, ladies and gentlemen, out of all the things that can occur in life, the most important things to me are peace. That I can live in peace with humanity. And I believe that every last human being on the face of the earth want to live in peace. Nobody want to just outright killing. Well, I mean, a few might, but most don't. Want to be prosperous, the things that we do. Wanted to yield what we are seeking. We want to be free. Free to be who we are. Every last one of us wants that. Has nothing to do with race. We want to be joyous. Feel joy all the time. We want it. We want to be happy. And most of all, we want to put all that stuff together to make sure that we can live our dreams. We don't want to be in sleep. We want to be walking around day and night, living and experiencing the dreams that we have. We want our needs. We want our wants. We want our desires met at our chosen time. That's what I want. And I believe every human being wants that as well. The big problem is most people will say, well, that's asking an awful lot. So how do you accommodate that with the economic situation the way it is today? Everything's so costly. I tell them then you change the economic situation to make it accommodate what we just got through saying we want. And so what's the big problem? The big problem is money. Look at it like this. All of the resources that are used came with the earth. They came from God, the power that we can't see, but the evidence of it. Like sitting on this earth, sitting there watching these trees out here, looking at the sun hitting me side of the head, looking at the sky, all that. We as human beings had nothing to do with that, but yet it's here. And so we know just like we are here, it's here. Something caused it to be here. So that power that took care of all that made sure that the resources be available so that we can do all the things that we want to do. That power did that. Gave us that free. Now all the things that we have determined are essential for our survival, we the people made those determinations based upon our exposure to those resources. And every last one of us benefit in one way, one form, or fashion from the resources of this earth. And so it stands reasonable to assume without doubt that it is our responsibility to participate in the process of that which gives us life, that which keeps us happy, that keeps our life satisfied. We should then engage ourselves. And since we must engage ourselves, we have the responsibility and the duty to choose a career, a job that gives us our greatest joy. That's the secret. That's the secret of joy. Choosing what you're going to be doing. Every last one of us choosing. And everything that you choose to do is absolutely fantastic. It's needed. And it's interconnected together with everything that everybody's doing. And it produces, causes a manifestation of all of the resources, the ones that we say like food, and clothing, and shelter, and education, and healthcare, and transportation, and infrastructure, and access to anything that's made by the hands of man for any and every last one of us that have a need or want or desire. And it didn't cost a red penny. It didn't cost nobody being boss talking about who's trying to punish everybody. Nobody's being punished because everybody's doing what they want to do. And we're not judging people on anything, but that they treat people right and cause no pain, cause no suffering. That is unacceptable. Now, that's for me. That's the way I feel about life. That's my level of understanding about life. This is my pay grade. Now, I don't hear anybody out here in America, and I don't hear any that. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen across the world somewhere, but I'm not familiar with anybody anywhere talking about this kind of satisfied life talking about this as close as I understand heaven to be on earth, talking about this as being paradise on earth, and everybody's satisfied. The only problem is that we're so asleep, we're so dead that we don't understand any of the stuff that I'm saying to you. And when we start saying that we know God and love God and compare our relationship with one another as an expression of our understanding of God, it makes it seem when you compare it with the stuff that I just got to saying that the human race is a bunch of low down, evil, dead, and listen to these words right here, no good motherfuckers. And I said that because I know it's disgusting to many of you. And I want you to understand how disgusting the way human beings have accepted society, how they allow things to exist when the power to make heaven on earth happens. Now, I want to say this. What brought me out of that 60s head job? I graduated from high school and went to college. And I met a young man from, though I was from Mississippi, I had a partner. We were running together. I don't mind sharing his name. He's gone now. His name is Johnny Simpson, J.B. Simpson. We met a young man from Chicago by the name of Earl Mayo. They had a big afro and stuff. The 60s, you know, when that Jimi Hendrix and all that stuff was going on. Love. And we just met. So we went just walking out in the woods. All fun back in those days, kind of out in the woody area. So we just walking in the woods and we were talking. And he asked us if we wanted to do a doobie. Now, a doobie, I don't know what a doobie is. My partner didn't know what a doobie was. But we ended up, it was a joint. And so I had never seen a real joint before, seen it in books, magazines, but never seen one. And my partner hadn't. And so naturally, we're young, progressive. We're going to try it. And we tried it. And I want to tell you that was the beginning of my awakening. The scale of the bull that has been placed on us. Stuff that if you think, it doesn't even make any kind of sense. But we accept it because we got it from an authority. And so we don't have to think. We just accept it as being real and true. We put our faith in that. It never dawns on us that people burn books, that people try to change history and create whatever story they want to tell. It never dawned on us that people would go that low. And so while it never dawns on us, and we be walking around thinking people got bones in their nose, people are out here making everybody still slaves, call them second class citizens, working not just people of color, black people, but everybody, suffering. Won't even try to find cures to certain sicknesses and diseases because it's money tied up in it. Now, see, all of that stuff, ladies and gentlemen, when you know the truth, you don't come back and say, well, the message is getting out, and let's just say they start making some changes. Let's just say that for the sake of this conversation, they start making changes. People start, most people, let's say even 90% of people start getting health care and all that other kind of stuff. People who are led by the truth won't accept that. As long as one person is suffering, they have to stand up because God is not a God that's like that. God is real. The truth is real. Love is real. It's supportive. And it can't say, well, I've done a big job now, so I'm cool. No, its job is incomplete. Love is not really finished. The the expression of love is not complete. Why? Because somebody over there is suffering. It's love's responsibility to take care of that. And so what I see God doing is putting us on this earth to learn the truth about life and turn into children of God, not just human beings on earth. When we say I'm all born again, I'm a child of God, I'm not talking about that BS. I'm talking about where we have learned the spirit and the love of God, that God could use us anywhere, and we would go through any trial and tribulation, for the truth, because we're not going to sell for the lie. We're not going to sell for it. So when I come to you and talk to you about these kinds of things, I'm not just trying to say you be a better Christian. I'm not trying to say that this faith is better than that faith. I'm trying to tell you that every last one of it ain't nothing but straight up bullshit. Why do I say that? Look around you. Look what's going on in the world. You think you got some God in you? Come on now. You ain't that dumb. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop here. I've been talking to you for quite some time, and I want to thank you so very much for giving me this much of your time. Here again, Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of, that's my own choice, advocate of basic human rights, the things that I share with you, of every last human being on the face of the earth. Republicans can't do it. Democrats can't do it. They won't do it. Americans won't do it. Russians won't do it. Chinese won't do it. Nobody will do it. But it's God's way. God loves you, and only God. And you know it's God, because not one of you are left out. Goodbye.